Okay, any questions from like anything that happened yesterday, either inside the class or in any of the other classes that you guys have concerns with or anything? Did you guys have a pretty easy day yesterday? Yeah? We didn't hurt you too bad, right? Okay, just wait, it's coming. I'm just kidding. It's not. It was so much fun for me yesterday, you guys, to click on through the roster and start to see everyone's pictures and to click on them and see what your major was and some info about you and things like that. Like it was a lot of fun for me. Because in the past, we haven't actually done that. And so as a professor, you get a class with 20 or 30 people and it's just all those like blanks and it doesn't make that connection. So I really liked having that connection with you guys. And it helped me learn names because like I'd pull up a picture and be like, oh, that's their name, right? So it's a really good assignment. I did try to update as much as possible yesterday, probably about 2 o'clock. So you can, if you did it before then, you can go in and your grades are probably updated for that. Your attendance for yesterday was updated. Please go in and take a look at that. Make sure I got you, that you were here. Okay. Nobody has anything from yesterday? Are you guys awake yet? Do we need the coffee pot? Who said we needed the coffee pot? Yeah, I'm with you. Maybe we'll have to get them to open the den coffee like from like 8 to 8:30. Right? Yes, ma'am. Scanner. Who has the it's in the back. I think it's working its way back up here. Okay. Do you have your ID? Okay. I'll make sure you get the scanner when it comes back up here. Cool. Okay. Can anyone see you guys? You know what? I didn't put I did not put your pictures up on the screen. I just put the chat so everybody can see you guys chatting. But I didn't put your pictures for those that are synchronous. It's probably better that way, right? Actually, no, can you see the chat? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to continue today working on and talking about the technology here at Carolina University. Some of you may have already seen this page. If you who went to the academic success boot camp that they had? Was it last week or the week before? Okay. So if you went to that boot camp, some of this is probably going to be a repetition of what you guys went through on that. Because I got this actually from the IT folks directly. This page is linked in your course portal. I'll show you guys where we're going to go through the course portal and where all the pieces are and what you guys need to be aware of. But this is up there for you guys to download and have a copy of. Okay. Come on in. Come on, Henry. Unfortunately, he's one of my 4, so I know him. So I'm going to call him out. I'm just kidding. You guys, I call you out because I love you. It's not because I'm being mean. Okay. This is a good sheet to just keep with you. Print it out, keep it in your dorm, keep it in by your desk at all times. It's got really great information when it comes to anything that has to do with technology on campus, okay? It's got the Wi-Fi password and which Wi-Fi you should be on. And yeah, make sure that, do you have your ID card in? Okay. Pass it right behind you when you're done. Okay. Thank you. Okay, there's a QR code on there, which will take you to the Carolina University website directly. And once you get there, you can get anywhere because the My Carolina portal is linked there. All your course information is going to be there. You can get to it from just the basic Carolina University website. Okay. Some of the things, we do have a support kind of like an FAQ, frequently asked questions, like kind of look here before you contact us. It's at support.carolinau.edu. They have a lot of solutions to a lot of the common problems. They also have a lot of manuals, like words are hard, manuals that will explain to you like how to use the e-learning system, how to use some of the software that's available through campus and things like that. Okay, so just general technology questions. Most of the time we use Chrome around here. I need to like, I gotta turn my little robot or something because like I can't see. Oh, duh, I can turn the screen. Y'all wouldn't know I was computer science, would you? It's fine, everything's fine. Okay. We do use Chrome or Firefox. Most of the time we use Chrome. So if you, hopefully Chrome, Safari works just as well, to be honest. There's also a status at carolinau.edu. That's good if you're having an issue and you're on campus trying to connect to Wi-Fi, trying to connect to a server, something like that. The general status will be placed on that status page, okay? So if IT thinks everything's up and running, it's gonna say all's good. Have you guys like seen status pages like Microsoft and Google and things like that? Very, very similar, okay? But it's for campus, okay? So my suggestion would be, if you lose Wi-Fi and you can't figure out what's going on, go to that status page first, maybe probably on your phone because you don't have Wi-Fi, right? And see if they're already aware that something's going on. Sound good? Okay. We use and we support PC and Macs, okay? So if you have a question regarding your PC in any way or your Mac in any way, you can go ahead and do a support ticket through IT Help Desk. Okay, we don't support Chromebooks though. Do we have anybody that has Chromebooks? That's their main, okay. We'll try to work with you guys just so that you know IT is gonna be like, nope, we don't deal with Chromebooks, okay? Okay. Typically when it comes to cloud drives, you guys do have access to both Google Drive and OneDrive, okay? I would pick one or the other, or use one for academics and one for athletics, or so, you know, keep it separated, because if you start putting things in multiple places, they're going to get lost. Okay. I encourage you to use the cloud because I can get to the cloud stuff on my tablet, my phone, it doesn't matter. Chromebooks work great with the cloud drives. There's nothing worse than saving something on your hard drive and then having to go to a different computer, right? And then you don't have your stuff anymore. Has anybody ever done that? Come on, I'm not. Especially here, because like we log into the machines in each room, right? If I save it to my hard drive in my office and I try to pull up a presentation here, it's not gonna be there, right? So we actually use quite a bit of the cloud storage. Included with all of ours is 1 terabyte of storage, okay? So you guys already have like the upgraded storage just with your Carolina University email. Okay, so you don't have that basic free where it's like a gig and then they, you know, try to make you pay. You guys already have a terabyte, so that's a lot. Please make sure that you password protect everything, especially in the dorms. Yeah. So we used to have, and this was not in a dorm, this was in like corporate America. If you leave your desk and you left your computer unlocked, you are inevitably sending some really like awkward emails to like presidents of companies and things. Do you ever hear of like things like that? No? It was actually pretty funny. Except when it was your machine that was unlocked. Okay? Make sure you lock your stuff up. You don't want anyone getting into trouble using your login and password. That's basically all it is, right? Yeah. Use multi-factor if you can. Okay, I think they pushed some multi-factor for some of the stuff already that it's required, where you do a little authenticator on your phone. Yeah. There's also things such as, has anyone seen like a YubiKey? So this is a way of multi-factor authentication. This goes into a USB drive and you put your finger and it reads your fingerprint. And it does just like what those authenticators do. It's fairly cheap off of Amazon, like 20 bucks. And you can use it with Google and Microsoft and all kinds of stuff. And it's portable, goes on a keychain. You can use it multiple computers. So just think about it. And I just dropped it on the floor, it's fine. Whenever possible, use a hardwired Ethernet cord. I know they handed out a bunch of Ethernet cords at registration. If you need an Ethernet cord for your dorm, either let me know or let IT know. They've got ones for you, okay? Your hardwired Ethernet is always going to be faster and more reliable than your Wi-Fi. Always, always, always. Okay? All of the dorms are wired for hardwire. There should be a plug in every single dorm room. My suggestion is, especially if you're taking an exam or a quiz, plug it in, okay? For those with Macs, there are adapters that you can get that has an Ethernet on one side and like a USB-C or something on the other side, or Lightning on the other side. So you can look at getting those. So check your laptops, see what kind of connections you have. Yeah, I'm not sure if does a Surface have one? No, it's the one that looks like an old-fashioned like phone. It's like the square. Does that make sense? Squarer. It's the one that's more square. But they probably have adapters as well for those. I'll try and look at some adapters online and put some in some of the news and the announcements for you guys. They're not expensive. They're great to have. And again, you know, it's the reliability. In the middle of a final exam, and we all know we're going to take it last minute, right? Like, we're just going to accept that fact. Okay. It's 11:45. It's due at midnight, and you're, you know, the Wi-Fi goes down and you're in panic mode, right? Bless you. A lot of times the hardwire will still be accessible even though the Wi-Fi is down. Okay. It's more reliable. With Wi-Fi, the more users you have on it, the slower it's going to be for each user. Do y'all know that? Yeah. There's only so many waves running around in the air. Okay. Hardwire doesn't have that slowdown either. Okay. So if and whenever possible, your best bet is to go ahead and just plug it in. And again, if you need some cords, let us know. Cool. Okay. Yesterday, I showed you how to submit an IT ticket. This right here at the very bottom gives really great information about what to include in that IT support ticket, okay? Please make sure you put, if it's for a specific course, the course ID, just as we want to put those course IDs in the titles and subjects of our emails, right? Because it's not going to help us if you have a course-specific question and you don't tell them what course you're in, right? Okay? If it's within a specific assignment, you can't get an assignment submitted, put which assignment is it you're talking about. Put which operating system you are using. Are you on Windows? Are you using iOS? Okay, that's going to help them answer your question faster, as well as the version if possible. If you're using Windows 10, just say I'm on a PC using Windows 10. I'm on my laptop. This is my issue. Okay, that little bit of information is going to help them answer your questions much, much faster. Okay, which browser you're using. Okay, are you using Chrome? Are you trying to use Edge? You know, they might tell you try using Chrome. What have you done to try to fix it? Okay, if you've done anything yourself to try to fix it, they want to be able to cross those off their list so that they don't have to tell you to go back and try again. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Screenshots if possible. If you have an error message, take a screenshot of that error message. Put it in the support ticket. When I do this, this is the error message that I get. This is what it looks like. Okay. And any kind of contact information that you can give them. Okay, we don't have access to all of your personal information as faculty, okay? All we really have is your school ID and your school email. If you don't check your school email and you want them to text you or to call you on your cell, you need to put your cell number in the support ticket, okay? It's going to be the fastest way to get a hold of you. If, you know, Google Chat is the fastest way to get a hold of you to get this rectified, contact me through Google Chat. They have access to Google Chat. It's not a problem. Okay. If you don't put any kind of contact information, they're going to email your Carolina University email. That's all they have. Okay. Because the support IT ticket to submit All it asks for is your email. Okay. Let's see. Someone keep me on track of time. Like 9:30-ish. Make sure I don't like go off the deep end because I forgot my watch this morning. Okay. Any questions about just basic IT and tech support information? No? Does everyone have the Wi-Fi password and everyone's able to connect and things like that? Okay. I do encourage you guys, and I think I told the second session, I forgot to tell you guys, feel free to bring any and all of your technology to this class. I have no problem with it. We're going to be using it. We're going to be looking at it. If you have issues, we can work through it. Bring your tablets, your phones, your laptops. It's fine with me. I know each professor is different. Some don't like it at all, but please, this is the class that you want to bring that all to, okay? If you're having issues, once you go home, bring it in the next day. Let me know. We'll try to work through it, okay? Yeah? Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do real quick, I am going to, let's go here first, carolinau.edu. So this is going to be your main website, the main access. This is actually the public website, but there is a lot of information sort of hidden on this website. Okay. We talked about yesterday about just going through and clicking on stuff and let's see what's there. Some of the things to notice is under academics, okay? Your catalog is there, okay? The programs are there, okay? The academic calendar is there. The academic calendar is a big one, okay? It's going to tell you what days you need to be here and things like that. I like to go to programs. It lists all of our programs that we have. I suggest you go and find yours. It's going to tell you all that you need to take as requirements in order to graduate. This is a great place to find it, either here or the catalog. So for example, say I am in information systems. I can go over here to curriculum. Here are the program learning outcomes, the graduation requirements, and there's all the classes that you're going to need to take. They're all listed. Okay. It's helpful because sometimes you just don't know what you have left and what you need to take. It's all listed right here on the website. If you want to know what a class is, you can highlight it and click on it. It will take you to the catalog description of what that class is. Okay, so I clicked on Computer Science 1 Programming. This course is an introduction to programming and Python. This course is used to prepare for more advanced programming courses, as well as a self-contained class. It's going to tell you what you're going to learn and things like that. So if you don't know what it means, go ahead and click on it. So something like machine learning. I don't know what machine learning is, okay? I'm going to click on it and learn that it's talking basically to the functioning machine learning as well as deployment of the business context. We're going to learn clustering, decision trees, neural networks. Okay, so it's going to go through and explain to you everything that's there. If you are needing a class and you're looking at the course schedules and you're like, I don't know what any of these are, go to the catalog. Okay, there are listings for everything in the catalog. Okay, I'm going to go back a few steps. Go to the top. If I go up to academics and click on catalog, this takes me right back to where I was with the course descriptions. There's a whole lot of information over here on the left, okay? There's faculty information. There are program specific information. Here's all of the majors, graduate, undergraduate, concentrations. Right here are the general course descriptions. This is a list of every single class that we have at the university. Does not necessarily mean that it's being offered at this moment, okay? Does that make sense? Big difference, right? Because we don't do every single class, every single session. Like GT103 is only first session fall. We do it once a year. Yeah. So I would suggest you go into this, go into your major. If you're a biology major, here's a list of all the biology courses that we offer, okay? Take a look at some of them. See which ones might excite you, which ones you might want to take, things like that. Also, if you have free electives and you don't know what to take, course catalog sometimes is a good place to start. and you can look and go, oh, that looks really interesting. I might want to try and take that class. Okay. The other good place to go is faculty. Okay, so let's see. School of Arts and Sciences. It lists all of, see, here's all of the professors that you have. If you would like to look up a professor specifically to see if you know who they are, to see where they've come from, you can look in here. Okay, most of the business faculty are listed under the John Wesley School of Leadership, so be careful a little bit with that. So if you have BBA classes, look under the leadership. But here I can look for general cooling. I don't know, does anyone have general cooling? He's kind of a cool dude. Okay, but it says here, he went to the US Naval Academy, he's part of the Marine Corps, like it has all his credentials, okay? Another good thing to know, let's go back to the main, there we go. Other good thing to know is the directory, speaking of finding faculty, okay? So what's in the catalog is basically all of the credentials of all of your faculty. What you're gonna find in the directory is a little bit more about them, usually a photo, their email, how to contact them, okay? So let's go down to School of Arts and Sciences. There's mine. Click on my name. Okay, I have a picture, my email, my office phone, my credentials, and there's a little bit about me in a little bit of a blurb. Kind of like what we asked you guys to do in your e-learning profile, right? Very, very similar. Okay. So if you look at the schedule and you see a name and you're not sure who that professor is, go to the directory, find their name, and click on them. More often than not, you might say, oh, Dr. Fonseca, I've seen him around class. I think I had him one time. I couldn't ever remember his name, right? Or you can ask another peer and say, hey, have you guys ever had Dr. Fonseca? Do you like him? Is he a good teacher? You know, things like that. Okay. Any questions so far about how to like find faculty and how to contact faculty? Because like I said, if you go to this directory, it has for the entire, all faculty and all staff. Okay. So if you need to contact anybody. Okay. Good example would be if you're looking at the schedule and you kind of have a conflict, so you want to talk to the professor before even registering, find their contact info. Because unfortunately, like mine, for some reason, my email has like a _1 in it. Because apparently there was already a Gentry J that had an email, so I got the underscore. I think that was just rude, right? So not everybody has that last name first initial. Majority of the time it's correct, but there are exceptions, okay? Office phones are also listed. You can give them a call. Does that kind of make sense? And you guys will get to know the faculty because we're not a huge group. You guys way outnumber us, right? Like, let's be real. You guys will get to know the faculty much better, but it's just going to take some time. Okay. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some of you guys putting yourselves out there a little bit and reaching out. Okay. Okay. The other thing that we have, I know I keep going back to the homepage. Under students, there's some really great information on this site for students, particularly the course schedules. Okay. This is where it's going to be listed what classes are going to be offered during which terms. Okay. Right now we've got fall, which is what we're in now, spring, which is what's starting in January, and we have the summer listed. I'll be honest with you, between now and when spring starts and when summer starts, it's probably going to fluctuate and change. But you can go ahead and take a look at it and get an idea of what you might want to take. So let's look at spring, do the spring schedule. Okay, we already have listed in here. Now I would ignore the room assignments, and we all figured that out yesterday, right? until like the last minute. But you could look in here and say, okay, I need to take BT100. Okay, God bless you. There's a section of it available for session 1 for spring. Session 1 is going to be that January to March. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 2 to 3:30. There is a section I can take it then. Okay. One of the more difficult things here with that 7-week 2-session thing is not overloading your sessions. Okay. You guys want to take probably around 5, maybe if you're ambitious, 6 classes a semester, which is 2 sessions, right? So you're looking at doing 2 or 3 classes each session. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind. You may have 5 or 6 classes that you see available on this, but if they're all session 1, it's not going to work, right? I also implore athletes, okay, bit of advice. Look at when your on season is, okay? Go a little bit lighter on yourselves during on season. Take the 2 classes instead of the 3, okay? It's going to be easier on you guys. So baseball, I think we discussed yesterday doing 3 that first session in spring and waiting and doing the 2 second session because you guys are later in the spring. Does that make sense? Basketball is a little bit more January, February, March. So take your 2 classes session 1 when you're in season and do your 3 when you're not in season. Does that make sense? And that's going to be on you guys and to speak with your advisors to advocate for yourselves, okay? Not every advisor is going to understand, you know, the sports world. And when I'm just being taught, honestly, by Coach Ferguson and Coach Williams, like on season, off season, like I'm not, you know, I'm like, but you guys aren't in season. They're like, well, we still do workouts and videos and da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, just okay. But I'm saying in season, when you're actually physically like having those games and things, you can go a little bit lighter on yourself and just take the 2 courses instead of 3. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sense? Okay. You can think about it and do it strategically so that you're not overwhelmed. We don't want you overwhelmed. I know soccer and volleyball tend to do these like tournament things. Where are my soccer and volleyball people? You guys do like weekend long tournaments, right? And stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're going to Florida soon for like 4 days usually. Was it 3 days, 4 days? 4 days? Yeah. So you don't want to take a full course load of the 3. You know, if you only need 5, push those 3 off to the second session if possible. So that when you're gone, you only have to worry about 2 classes, not 3. You know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but with these 7 weeks, it is a lot. Okay. If you think about it, each class is like a week's worth of work in a regular 14-week course. Does that make sense? You know, you're used to taking, like in high school, you have, you know, fall semester and you have like a 12 or 14 class. You're putting all the work of one entire week into one class. So you're basically doing 2 weeks of work in 1 week. Does that make sense? So think about it that way. Okay. Don't be over ambitious. It's okay. We all take time off. I keep saying I'm not going to teach next summer, but wait, you'll see my name on there. It'll be fine. Because the summers are just hard. Okay. Look at your personal schedules and make your classes work for that as well. I kind of said yesterday to let your work, you need to dictate your work, right? You need to be in charge of what coursework you have. You also need to be in charge of your schedule. Okay. If you know now that your sister's getting married in, you know, February, and you're going to have to be in Minnesota for a week because of wedding planning stuff, go easy on that schedule during that time. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's not just for athletes, it's for everybody. Okay. Make sense? Yeah. Does everybody know how to use the schedule and look through it? You can also search on these. So you can say, find me math. Okay, you can search just like a regular web page. Okay. If you ever have any problems trying to find classes, make them fit, go to your advisor. That's what they're there for. They can give you suggestions. Okay. They're there to guide you. They're not there to tell you. They're not there to dictate to you. They're not your parents. They're there to guide you, give you suggestions, and help you along. Okay. I think my advisees can say, I told them, go look at the schedule, but my suggestion is you take A, B, and C. Right? Because this can be overwhelming, right? You just look at that and go, well, I want to take school administration and law. Well, okay, but you're a bio major. You don't really need to. You see what I'm saying? Those advisors are there. That's their job. That is their specialty. That's what they're there for. Okay. They can help you narrow down these big spreadsheets into just a handful of classes that would benefit you. Okay. There's nothing saying that if that class, if school administration and law is calling to you and you want to take it, you cannot take it. You can. Okay. But we want you to be educated to say, hey, if you want to take that, you're just taking that as a fun class. It's not really going to count towards graduation. But if you really want to take it, go for it. Okay. No one here is going to stop you and tell you, hey, this class doesn't really count towards graduation. Make sense? Okay. You guys have to ask the questions. Cool? Okay. And again, if you want to look, the summer schedule is up. I know for those that have financial aid, there is actually special financial aid as far as Pell Grants that are out there for summer. Don't ask me anything more than that. That's all I know. Anything else, you need to go to the financial aid office. They just tell us, make sure students know that there is special financial aid out there if you want to go during the summer. Okay. If you also want to go during the summer, it can lighten your load during the regular school year. Okay. It can make you graduate early. Okay. You can take up to 5 classes an entire semester over the summer. Okay. So you can carve off a whole year. So instead of going 4 years, you can finish in 3. Okay. It's what you want to do. You don't have to take a full load. If you just want to take 1 class over the summer, you can do that as well. In my experience, most of the summer classes tend to be online because most people are either working full-time jobs or they're not on campus. Okay. So most of the summer ones tend to be online. But again, right now, especially with COVID, we're giving you guys the options of synchronous, asynchronous, or in person. The past 2 summers, that's been the case as well. Okay. So if you work a summer job and you just want to take 1 class over the summer, you can do that. Okay. I like to do it because like, I always took summer classes, just at least if 1, because it was like, if I didn't, it was like my brain turned to mush and then I had to start back in the fall. And then it was like, I forgot how to like learn or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like keeping that muscle like toned and like ready to go. The other thing that I used to do as well when I was in school is I would take the hardest classes I had to take over the summer because A, I was usually 1 at a time, and B, it was usually easier for some odd reason, probably because it was hot and no one wanted to be there. So I took things like differential equations or organic chemistry over the summer by myself, by itself, that's it, as 1 class. And I did much, much better than had I taken it during the school year. Differential equations I actually took during the school year, and I withdrew because I was really not doing so hot. And by not so hot, I mean like failing miserably. So I took it over the summer and I got an A. It was the only class I had to concentrate on. There was 1 thing I had to do. I had nothing else to do with my time, and I was able to get it out and get it out of the way. Kind of makes sense? If there are courses you're dreading on taking, things like that, see if they're being offered in the summer. The other option is we do have these module classes, which I believe they're actually in the fall schedule. It is a super condensed, because I know we've got one A, B, C, D, E, F right there. Our drones class. Okay. It says U1 module 1. Do you see the dates? 11/29 to 12/3. How many days is that? 5. It's 1 week. Okay. You will be in class from 8 a.m. until about 4 p.m. every single day. Once that week is up, you are done with that class. You have your 3 credits. You move on with your life. Kind of cool. It's intense. Don't get me wrong. It's a very intense week. I taught one once, and I literally was exhausted after that week, and I was only teaching. But done. Okay. One more course to check off the box to get you closer to graduation. Okay. A lot of those module classes will be things like intro to, I know mine was management information systems. We covered 3 chapters in a book each day. Okay. Mind you, I'm not standing up there and talking from 8 to 4. So bless, I know y'all don't want to stand here and listen to me from 8 to 4. I would lecture at 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. It was all online. You had to log in synchronously during those times. The other times you were given time to do your assignments and coursework and quizzes. So you were only, for my class, I'm not saying every class is like this. For my class, you were only required to log in and be synchronous for those 3 times. Okay. So it was kind of cool. We kind of had fun. We did some group work. We would lecture for an hour, hour and a half. And then everyone would be dismissed to go work in their small groups in the breakout rooms in Zoom. Cool. But again, boxes checked, class is over, one more step to graduation, right? Because that's really all we're here for, right? We just want to get as close to graduation as possible and get through that. Okay. So there are so many options that you can take that we have for your schedules. Okay. See what works best for you. Module class might be too much, and that's fine. That's okay. I'm telling you, it was too much for me as a professor. I think I literally slept like all day Saturday when it was over. I was like, I can't do this again. That's just my own personal issues. Okay. But think about and plan. Okay. This is where that life plan is going to come in. You need to look long-term. Okay. It's so hard to do. You're just starting out, but you know what? You're starting out with, you already know what your finish line needs to look like. We need to get you there. That's why you're here. Okay. We all have lives. We need to make sure that those lives don't go off the rail while we're trying to get to that finish line. Okay. Athletes have sports. The rest of us have like families, lives, things to do, travel. Okay. This needs to become a part of your life, and it needs to merge with it instead of being a hindrance, right? Or it needs to come first, but it needs to be able to work with your life. Okay. And there are so many ways to do that. You just got to put yourself out there and ask those questions. Okay. I'm not going to say that as you get closer to graduation, it's going to get harder and harder to find those classes, because it will. I'm not going to lie. My very last semester of my master's degree, I took 4 classes because I had to, because it was either that or wait another semester to graduate. And I was not about to do that. I'm sure we have people that can relate to that, right? You're like, I will just put my nose to the grindstone and we are going to bat this out, and then I will be done in 3 months. Okay. If you have a class that you're not vibing with, guess what? We only have 7-week classes. Yes, it's going to be not fun for 6 weeks, but it's only 6 weeks. You can make it through those 6 weeks. Okay. You can do it. You just got to put it yourself in there and do it. Make sense? Okay. All these things are short term. You got to look long term, especially if it's a required course. Mathematics 1, who are not math people? I know there's got to be, yeah. It's fine. Okay. You've got to pass Math 1 in order to graduate. Okay. It's a requirement, I think, for almost every single major. Okay. Whether you like it or not. I had to pass English Comp 1 and 2 because that was one of my downfalls. Okay. Got to get through it. And as soon as you get through it, and there are going to be some classes, and I hate to tell you this, but it's going to be like, C, yes, I passed, let's go. Okay. You're not going to be perfect in every single class. We're human. I was so happy to get my C+ in English Comp, and I was like, I am done. I am never dealing with an English class ever again in my life. I am done. Okay. Kind of one of those nice things of when we look at high school versus college, right? College, you had to take English every single year, right? Most of the time. Yeah. Mine, because I grew up in the North in New Jersey, we had to take phys ed for 4 years, every single year. I thought I wanted to die. I was the cheerleader. I was not coordinated at all whatsoever. I'm still not coordinated very much. Okay. You just make it through. Okay. Here you get to pick. Yes, you're dictated on some things like that Math 1, English Comp 1, English Comp 2. It's to make you a more well-rounded person. But after you get through those basics, you're done. You don't ever have to see it if you don't like it. Okay. The other nice thing is if you choose a major here and you decide you want to go into business, and all of a sudden one day you're like, you know what? I flipping hate these business classes. That's okay. We have a whole website of different majors that we have here. Try things out. I had spoke to a few students. I don't think I see any of them in here, but that's okay. Over the weekend about, well, I'm kind of in between 2 different majors. I don't really know what I want to do. You guys have the luxury being freshmen that right now you've got so many free electives. You can basically take any class at this school. Okay. If you're, because I remember one of them was currently in the business program, but was looking at esports and didn't even really know we had an esports program, was asking what esports was. I said, take the intro to esports class. It will count towards your business major if you don't like it. And if you do like it, you can switch. Okay. Now's your time, especially early on, to try things out, to try different hats on. Okay. My daughter started out college as a biochemistry major. She is now an English teacher. Ask me how much further you can get from one to the other there. Right. I was so excited. I thought I had a little like scientist that like was in my family, and then she went English. And I've told you what my feelings about English are, right? No. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to change your mind. You're not a failure if you change your mind. I don't know where that comes from. But people are like, you start in this and you have to finish. No, you don't. Actually, it's more common than not that you switch. Okay. Before you make those hard decisions, talk to your advisors. This is why we have an assignment to go talk to your advisor. I need you to get to know them. I need them to get to know you. See what kind of personality you have there. Your advisor knows every one of these faculty members. I could tell you, I don't know if, were you guys there on Sunday when I spoke a little bit? A few people. I said, we all have different personalities, even as human beings, okay? If you want the hard answer and you want to help with analysis and you want some suggestions, you come to me, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. I'm sorry. That's me. I blame my parents for bringing me up in New Jersey, but I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's just my brain. Okay. If you need someone who is more personality-wise, warm and fuzzy, kind of more, about feelings and things like that, I would suggest you go see Dr. Oman. Does anyone know Dr. Oman? Yeah, I say a few yeses and nos. Isn't she kind of fuzzy and like, yeah, okay. And I don't mean it in a bad way. That's just, she's just overly like, let's talk about our feelings. And I'm like, I don't have any. Right? If you want someone who is extremely energetic and wants to pump you up and you need to have some motivation, my suggestion would be to go talk to Madeline Newsom, the new student services director. You guys all, I think, have met her over orientation, right? She has like more energy than I will ever have in my entire lifetime in 5 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. We're just talking personality wise, okay? Personality wise, connect with somebody, connect with faculty. If you don't know who you want to connect with, ask. We all know each other. We're all friends. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure yet. I mean, the faculty know usually not to give me a microphone because I don't shut up. They usually go, no, don't give it to her. Okay. If you want that academic help, go to your advisor. That's not to say you can't come to me if you're a sociology major and I can't help you try to figure it out, because I can, but that's not my specialty. Okay. I created the computer science program, and so I know it backwards and forwards and inside and out. And so if you have a question about that program, you can come to me and I would know it right off the top of my head. But I'd be willing to help anybody work out any issues with any of their programs. But I'm going to do, I'm going to go right to the website that we just saw a minute ago, pull up the program and see what's required, exactly like you guys would do. Okay. I just have a little bit more experience being here at Carolina University. So I have a little bit of, some background information. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's really all I wanted to show you as far as this front website. Of course, you can go to Student Life. Their athletics has their own website. Financial services has a website. Under students, the bookstore is here. Has everyone looked at the bookstore? Suggestion about the bookstore: if you are registered for a class and you don't know what book to purchase, you can always look in the bookstore. We have to submit our books to the bookstore like an obscene amount of time before classes start. Okay. So if the syllabus is not loaded, look in the bookstore, shoot the faculty member. That's it. The professor. I don't know what, my brain just died. Shoot the professor an email and say, is this the book you still intend on using? The books are usually there in the bookstore. You do not have to buy it through the bookstore. Please, 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 please Google, shop around. Okay. But the bookstore should have the information that you're looking for as far as books. Make sense? Because I think for our class, the book in the bookstore is like $27 or something like that. And I think you can get it on Amazon for like $19. So you can save like $10. But just know that the bookstore is there and it has all that information. You can always also email the professor ahead of time and see if they have selected their books. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go over to the My Carolina U webpage. Yours looks slightly different, but I'm going to go over to courses and we're going to go through what our course looks like from top to bottom. Okay. And we're done at 9:40, right? 9:50? Okay. So in this course, actually, I'm just changing the view. There we go. At the top, on the left, you've got your status. Your grades will show up here. You can also click on view your grade sheet. Okay. When you click on your grade sheet, these are all the grades that you're going to have for this class. As I grade them, they'll start saying things like the 20 out of 20, things like that. If there's the 2 dots there, it means I haven't done it yet. Okay. That's a good, quick, easy way to see what your grade is. Now it'll also have your current final grade based on what's been assigned and handed in. Okay. Let's go back one screen. Next, on the right-hand side, you've got the latest news. Okay. That's where I'm going to be putting announcements. I've been trying to put them both there and emailing you guys. Okay. Did you guys all get the email about, well, obviously changing the room? Okay. I was a little nervous about that. I did that on the phone. So I was like, fingers crossed that it worked, and it did. Okay. So I've been trying to do both email and news and announcements. I'm not as good as I should be. So please keep an eye on this upper right-hand corner. Again, it's very set up very much like a blog. You can click on read this post. It will bring up all of the announcements. You can click on them and read them through. Okay. Again, it's set up very much like a blog. It's done by date. Okay. A lot of professors will put announcements in there. Again, read that syllabus to see what their preferred method of communication is. Okay. You can read these news and announcements on your app. So that's kind of nice. Next, underneath that, what you have is your week overview. Okay. You can do a select and look through the weeks. Oh yeah, where's the zapper? Did you guys get it yet? Okay, cool. Thanks. Just make sure you either sign the paper or get zapped. Cool. Okay, so you can actually look at any of the weeks here through the pull down. If I want to go see what we're doing on week 5, I can select week 5 and it's going to update and take me to week 5. Okay. But the nice thing is to not get overwhelmed. You can just look at week 1 by itself and see all the information that's required for week 1. Okay. Every faculty member, again, is going to be different with what they put in this section. But more often than not, you're going to at least have your coursework. So this is everything that's due to be handed in. Okay. For this class in particular, the participation is on me, and the e-learning profile update, once you've updated the profile, the grade update is on me. Okay, so there's nothing to hand. Cool? Okay. Again, keep honest. If for some reason we passed the due date and you had updated your profile and I didn't see it, please email me. Okay, I don't take it personally. There's 180 of you guys all together between this section and the other one. I am bound to screw some of them up. I'm not going to lie. It's not going to be on purpose. It's just with that many going through, I want to make sure that you're getting what you earned. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Weekly. Okay. It's for the week. Okay. So down here, here's the prompt down here that she was talking about. It's this journal entry. It's due on August 22nd. One entry for the week. If you want to personally do it every day and then pick out what you like for the week, that's fine. Okay. But the bare minimum, because remember, we've got the bare minimum folks over here. I like him. And then we have the overachievers up here in the front. Okay. The bare minimum is once a week, submit at least a short paragraph answering this journal prompt question. Okay. That journal prompt question should be at the bottom of each. Okay. So for this week, it is, what are 3 things that stood out from this week's class? Why did they stand out? What other resources can you not find? Okay. I had someone already submit their journal prompt because they had done the Proctor Free and they said that the Proctor Free website was terrible for help. I said, I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay. Things like that. What did you learn this week is basically what it is. And I believe it's very similar throughout the weeks. Okay. So just kind of keep in mind. Okay. There are some additional readings here, and sometimes some of the slides and stuff are going to be here. Like here, the technical support at CU, that's going to be that file that I shared first thing this morning. Okay. So every one of you have access to it if you would like to print it out. Okay. Here are some additional readings. Here is the e-learning. There are some how-tos on here through the support website that you guys can read through. How to access your course, accessing your syllabus, taking a quiz. There are some videos here that you can watch. These are not required. They're just there to help you. Okay. What we're talking about is, important, and watching this stuff. It's just knowledge to help you to get to the end. Okay. Thursday, the librarians are going to be in here. and they're going to have a little chat with us. So there are some library videos up there, and that's going to happen on Thursday. Okay. So think between now and Thursday, think of all of your library questions that you have. Anything about the library and anything about doing research, whether it be online. Ask them about textbooks. If they're getting, because I know we've been collecting some textbooks for the library, but I don't know what status we're at. I know there's ways to request that our library purchase books. Okay, they're going to tell you how to do things like that. Okay, so Thursday is going to be our library session. Okay, tomorrow, the proctor free, for those of us who are synchronous online, I don't believe we have IDs. Oh, okay. So for we're going to go a little bit more into proctor free tomorrow. But for proctor free, you can use any kind of photo ID that you have. Okay, we worked with them so that they will accept the Carolina University or Carolina University IDs. They will also accept driver's license, work IDs, anything that's a picture ID. Okay, so if you have any kind of photo ID, it should work. I had one student over the summer use his work badge and it worked just fine. As long as it has your name and a picture, it works just fine. Okay, question? Do what? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Do we have any questions on the page, the front page of the course portal? Has anybody seen like their front pages for all their courses? They're all kind of set up a little different, right? Yeah. The faculty basically has control over these. I like to make mine fun, so there's usually like some picture or something, and then I get to like the work at the bottom. Okay. Let's see. Up here on the left, you've got, we talked about the different menu items. The very first one is attendance. Okay. I attempted yesterday to go through, and all of those that were online synchronously and in person, I tried to mark you as present. Take a look at it and make sure I did it correctly. Okay. Make sure you got your credit for being here. Okay. We went through the course information and syllabus a little bit on yesterday, where you've got all of your student information. You've got some, the actual class information. Here, we just have the classes listed. If you click on the class over here, it'll actually just give you the date and time, where the classes are, things like that. Okay. And again, we went through the syllabus ad nauseum yesterday, so we're not going to even touch that today. If you go to coursework, this is going to give you all of the assignments that need to be done for this class in one location. Okay. What's going to happen as you complete these assignments, you'll get little check marks in these boxes. Once everything is complete, it'll actually default to have that week closed, so you'll no longer see it. Okay. So everything at the top should be what is due the closest to today. Okay. Some other things to note here, this proctor free test quiz, it has a cool little word over here, right? It's an extra credit quiz. It's not required. It's extra credit. Okay. The purpose of this proctor free test, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, is to get you to download the proctor free software, to get used to using it, to work out the kinks, because when it comes time to take that midterm or final in another class and you don't know how to work proctor free, I feel like most faculty members are going to have little less sympathy than they, than more sympathy. How's that? Was that a good way to put it? Is that a good way of kind of saying you're going to like make them mad? Okay. Test out the proctor free. Make sure you get comfortable with it. Any questions regarding the proctor free, we can talk about it tomorrow. Okay. Sound good? Yeah. Okay. Again, you can look next to it. It will tell you the date it's due, the time it's due, and if it is part of your grade or not, okay? These first three, I'll say included in the final grade. That last one does not. Now, I will say, if you look at participation, currently, that is where the videos are being stored for the asynchronous, and or if you want to go back and watch me for some odd reason. Okay, if you missed something. I put all the videos in here in the participation section. They're embedded in here. That's the video from yesterday. Okay. If you scroll down, here is the rubric. Basically, the rubric says, did I attend class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? Okay. So Monday class, Tuesday class, Wednesday class, Thursday class, it will say 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5 for when you get counted for attendance. Okay, so that's how you read that rubric. Does that make sense? Okay. You can notice here, there is nothing for you to click. There is nothing that says submit. It means there's nothing to submit. That means it's all on me. Okay. If I go back to coursework, let's select the journal entry. One thing I want to show you. Oh, it's not there. Journal entry. So when I click here, see how this icon has like a little piece of paper with an up arrow? That means you are going to upload a document. Okay. When you go down to the bottom, there is a blue box. Okay. With your assignments, always look for the blue box at the bottom. That's going to tell you to start your quiz, and it's going to tell you to upload your file. Okay. If you click on the blue box, it's going to give you the normal Windows / Apple, choose a file. You can go and find it and upload it. Okay. If you need it, upload local machine, and it'll take you to that one. Does that make sense? Okay. Once you select your file, you hit insert and add file. You don't need to put anything for the label. You don't need to put anything for the description. The one thing I do want you to look at, though, is reading in the assignment within the instructions. Please look to see if the instructor has put any instructions on the file naming. Okay. It is typical for faculty to ask that the files be named your last name, assignment1.doc. Okay. Keeping your faculty sane. Okay. If I get 160 handed in that just say assignment1.doc, I'm going to go crazy because I'm not going to know who is what and doing what. And also put your name inside the Word document somewhere, please. Okay. Because if honestly, if I get a ton that are say assignment 1 and no name inside when I open the document, I'm not going to know whose. Okay. Unless I go back into the e-learning and go file by file. Okay. Typically I do a bulk download of everyone's files. I mark them all up and then I upload them individually. Okay. So it's going to keep me sane, which keeps me happy and less grumpy, better grades. Like y'all get that, right? It's like a learning curve. I don't think I have an example of a quiz in the, oh, I guess the Proctor free quiz. I don't know if it'll, okay. So here for Proctor free, the way we have it now, and it's going to change after December, hopefully in January. They are actually working with us to integrate into our e-learning system directly. But in the meantime, if you try to click on start the quiz, it's going to ask you for a password. Okay. Here's the trick. Proctor free is going to give you the password to put in here. Okay. So on mine, I put to turn on Proctor free and get the password, click here. You'll go through the Proctor free login. Again, we'll go through the step-by-step tomorrow. It'll say, here's your password to your quiz. You can come back and put it in there. Okay. Any question about the coursework portion? Okay, another thing is that it also says open. Sometimes the quizzes will not be open. A lot of times with midterms and finals, they're not open at the very beginning of class. The professor will say, okay, you have like this week to take the midterm or final. So you'll see to the right of it, it'll say closed or something like that. Okay. It just means you don't have access. Let me go back. Discussion forum. So I don't really have this as a requirement for this class, but some classes have it a requirement to make it to do some discussion online. It's kind of like a bulletin board forum type system. Again, through your e-learning, there'll be some topics there. You can click on the topic and it'll be like a threaded chat, basically. Okay. So that's where you'll find your discussion posts. Again, your grade book, this is going to give you that same, if you had clicked it on the front page, there's a couple ways to get to it. It's going to show all your grades and all of the different required assignments. News and announcements is going to give you the link to all of the news and announcements that have been posted so far, the same link that you get when you click on that front page as well. Resources, this is a great link. The resources section, there we go, that's better, is going to have on it all of the uploads and PDFs and sometimes bookmarks that are going to help you get through this class, okay? It's divided up into weeks. So for here, week 1, I have the technical support handout. That's that same handout that we've seen a couple times today. Some of these are for next week, week 3, week 4. There's bookmarks down here, okay? But it's gonna have just all of the attachments available to you. Okay, all the attachments, and that's it. Almost done. Let's see, weekly overview. Mine says weekly overview. I think some of them just say overview. That takes you back to that main homepage that we've been through already. And then finally, the Zoom. So if for any reason, you need to come synchronously only, you click on that Zoom and it'll have today, and you can click on the start button and it will automatically take you to that link that I sent. It'll take you to the same place. Okay, remember our link for Zoom is not changing throughout the semester. It stays the same. So if you want to bookmark it, you can do that. But you can very easily find Zoom through the e-learning portal. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? We definitely need coffee in this room. Everyone is so quiet. No questions today? Okay. I'm going to stop the recording at least.